3,000 years ago, the world as humanity knew it ended. Mighty empires vanished. Great cities burned to ash. Trade routes that had connected continents for centuries fell silent. In the span of just a few decades, civilization itself nearly collapsed. What caused it? Invading armies? A wave of natural disasters? Or something deeper? A chain reaction that unraveled the first great globalized world. This is the story of the Bronze Age collapse, one of history's greatest mysteries. For more than 1,000 years before the catastrophe, the ancient world thrived in a golden age of power and prosperity. From the Egyptian pharaohs along the Nile to the Hittite Empire in Anatolia, from Mycenaean Greece and Minoan Crete to the Babylonians and Assyrians of Mesopotamia, powerful kingdoms rose and flourished. They built cities of stone, palaces of marble, and temples of gold. Their ships sailed across the Mediterranean and beyond, trading tin and copper, the two metals that, when combined, created the miracle alloy of the age, bronze. Bronze weapons armed their soldiers, bronze tools built their monuments, bronze ornaments decorated their kings. It was the metal that shaped civilization and united a world stretching from the Aegean to the deserts of Egypt in the mountains of Persia. This was the first international system, an ancient web of trade, diplomacy, and culture. But that very interconnectedness would soon become its greatest weakness. By around 1200 BCE, dark clouds began to gather over the Bronze Age world. Letters found in the ruins of ancient cities tell of strange omens, famine, drought, earthquakes, and new enemies appearing on the horizon. The mighty Hittite Empire was at war on multiple fronts. Egypt faced uprisings and invasions. Mycenaean Greece was plagued by internal conflict. The once wide network of trade that linked kingdoms began to falter. Without tin and copper shipments, the very foundation of their technology, bronze, was at risk. Something was coming, something no civilization had seen before. Then came the Sea Peoples. We still don't know exactly who they were, perhaps displaced tribes, mercenaries, or refugees fleeing famine and chaos. But from Egypt's surviving records, we know this. They came by land and sea, in vast numbers, attacking every major power of the Mediterranean. City after city fell to the flame. The mighty Hittite capital of Hattusa was reduced to rubble. The Mycenaean palaces of Greece, Mycenae, Tiryns, and Pylos were burned and abandoned. Egypt, under Pharaoh Ramses III, fought desperate battles to repel the invaders. His inscriptions describe waves of enemies with strange ships, advanced weapons, and families in tow, suggesting mass migration as well as conquest. He won, but at a cost. The old order was shattered. The Sea Peoples were not the only cause, but they were the final blow to a system already collapsing. Archaeological evidence shows that around this same time, the Eastern Mediterranean suffered one of the worst droughts in recorded history. Tree rings, pollen data, and ancient lake sediments all tell the same story. Decades of failed harvests, crops dying in the fields, famine spreading through kingdoms. When food vanished, trade collapsed. When trade collapsed, economies crumbled. Then came the earthquakes. Entire cities from Troy to Ugarit show layers of destruction, not just from fire, but from the ground itself splitting apart. The world seemed cursed, as if nature had turned against civilization itself. Serious tone. One by one, the great powers of the late Bronze Age world fell. The Hittite Empire, gone. The Mycenaeans, gone. The great port city of Ugarit, gone. Even mighty Egypt, the last survivor, emerged scarred and weakened, never to reach its former glory. Somber pause. For centuries, the Eastern Mediterranean, once a vibrant network of kings, merchants, and scribes, became a wasteland of ruins and forgotten names. Writing systems disappeared, trade routes vanished, populations plummeted. It was, in every sense, a dark age. Curious, reflective tone. But what exactly caused the collapse? Historians have debated it for a century, and the answer may be that it wasn't one single event, but everything happening at once. A perfect storm of disasters. Climate change and drought, invasions and migrations, economic collapse and social unrest, and the fragility of a global system that depended on delicate trade networks. When one kingdom fell, the others soon followed, each domino pushing the next until the whole world came crashing down. Hopeful tone. Out of the ashes of the Bronze Age collapse, new power slowly emerged. In Greece, small city-states would rise again, giving birth to the classical age and the idea of democracy. In the Near East, new empires like Assyria, Babylon, and later Persia would take shape. The collapse had cleared the stage for a new world, one built on the ruins of the old. It was a painful rebirth, but from it came innovation. The spread of iron tools, new alphabets, and new forms of government. Humanity had survived its first great apocalypse and learned to rebuild. Reflective tone. The Bronze Age collapse remains one of history's great warnings. It reminds us that civilization, no matter how advanced, no matter how connected, is fragile. That when trade, climate, and politics intertwine too tightly, a single break can bring down everything. Yet it also shows our resilience. Even after centuries of darkness, humanity rose again, stronger, wiser, and ready to begin a new chapter. Soft pause. Perhaps in the ruins of the Bronze Age, we can glimpse our own world
trace the new
and the
maritime
delicate
highways.
balance that still
Ships
holds it
laden
together.
with copper, tin, and
Because
textile.
history
Here,
doesn't
at the
just
height of the
tell us
Bronze
what
Age,
was.
art and industry
It warns
flourished,
us what
creating
could
works
be
of stunning
again.
beauty and unprecedented
You've been
scale.
watching era by era.
As the
To
great
enjoy
powers
this journey,
fell, these new kingdoms
forget to
rose,
like, share,
defended
and
by
subscribe.
disciplined soldiers
Join us
and
next
fueled
time as we uncover another story that shaped our world.